Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I call Materia Ture.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I too just want to take a short call on this bill. I think it's well overdue that the recommendations from the review of MTS come to the House, and I'm looking forward to the Select Committee process where we look at these changes and we get reflections and submissions from those who are interested. Certainly it's necessary that the shift to digital is made as easy as possible for MTS. I would just say to you that Māori Television Service is a fantastic television station. I agree that it is the best public broadcaster we have on the television stations, and I think that is a view that is held by most New Zealanders. I would reflect that this was one of the first pieces of legislation I dealt with as a new Member of Parliament 10 years ago, working with the then Minister Parekura Horomia on passing this legislation through, and it was only at that time, it was only the Labour Party and the Green Party who supported the bill to set up the Māori Television Service, if we might remember back to those dark old days, when there was so much less commitment to the reo by other parties in this House, and so much less commitment to the expression of Māori voices about their own lives. And one of the most fantastic things about Māori television is that it has brought Māori stories to the mainstream. That Pākehā, the audiences, there's a great Pākehā audience for Māori television because these stories, these Māori stories that are told every day, are stories of our own country. They are stories of New Zealand, and that is what we see reflected in the Māori television. Their programming, their commitment. I'm very pleased to see the increasing commitment to the reo, because I know that it is driving people towards the reo and making it more understandable, but easier for people to accept that we are a bilingual country and that the reo is an official language of this country, and therefore is deserving of all the respect and effort for its preservation, but not just preservation, for its continuation and growth and life well after we are gone. We want to make sure that the reo remains as much a part of Aotearoa as the land and the soil does, the soil and the water, that it is part of the lifeblood of this country, for which the Māori Television Service is a crucial part. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about the provisions of this bill and how to develop that better. I think it's worthwhile noting that, given Trevor Mallard's discussion about how other TV stations are having to step up in order to meet the challenge that MTS presented. My Native Affairs won Best Current Affairs, I understand, last year. And so other TV stations are having to step up to meet the challenge that's provided. Jeremy Mallett saying the competition wasn't strong, but they're brilliant. In Native Affairs, they won because they were brilliant. And because of that, other TV stations are having to step up the mark, because New Zealanders do want to hear current affairs. They do want to hear their own stories, and that is where the Māori Television Service, Māori Television, is leading the way. So all power to them. We look forward to dealing with this legislation in Select Committee.
Call Melissa Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I feel very pleased